Pats Nation, how we doing today? As always, it is your boy Colby with Patriots Global here with a last minute, not planned streamed whatsoever. So for the 14 of you who have tuned into this straight off the bat with no heads up whatsoever, shout out to you guys. You clearly have on the post notifications for this channel, which already means that you're winning in life. But today, guys, we are going to be doing a couple of different things. Right now, I feel like it's a pretty dull period for the most part, right? It's like free agency, then it's NFL draft. Right before free agency, you have all the coaching changes and news and rumors circulating and roster changes and roster moves and all of that good stuff. But right after the draft, I feel like it's just kind of this dull period and you're waiting for practices to start ramping up. And right now, that's kind of what it is. Since the draft, it's kind of been speculation. We're talking about the rookie classes. We're breaking things down. But, other than that, there's really not too much that's going on. Today, we're going to break down what we do know about Patriots rookie minicamp so far. Rookie minicamp is a 2-day event. First day was today. Tomorrow will be day 2 of rookie minicamp, in which the media is going to be let in. So we're probably going to get, videos. We're going to get pictures. Hopefully we'll get some news. We'll hear if they did a little bit of 7-on-7s, maybe any 11-on-11s, anything of that sort. Of course, rookie minicamp is more about those new guys. There's really not much other than that, but anything that we can start taking away of substance from these new guys that were taken in this class, we will come on the channel tomorrow in order to break that down. Today, it's really just our first look. There's nothing to truly break down. It's not, Drake May completed a 50-yard bomb down the field to Javon Baker. We don't have any of that information yet, but we do have is first looks at these players. So we are going to get into some of the pictures that we did see from rookie minicamp today. We're going to break down my thoughts on the rookies' numbers because we did officially get rookies' numbers. No more of that 50, 51, 52 crap until the preseason comes along, and then we finally get to see the rookie numbers. We actually know the rookies' numbers now, and we're going to break down my thoughts on those. And I would love to hear your thoughts, of course, in the comment section also. And then lastly, getting into the alternate logo. This is something that I touched upon on Discord, on Twitter. I dropped it around a week ago, and it started to get some traction, and it was officially released by the Patriots today. This alternate logo that they're throwing out there. We're going to break down my thoughts on that. Could this be a logo that they ultimately change instead of the famous flying Elvis? Is this something that is kind of the new logo the Patriots are transitioning to? We're going to get into that. But again, shout out to everybody who is in the chat already. I know we got Ashton in here. We got Gerard in here. We got Alex. We got Nelk. We got Frank. So let's start. We got Noah. So let's start breaking this one down. On a date right now, she's going to have to wait. Dub comment, Noah, dub comment. But let's just hop right into this. Let's start off here. Let's start off with the alternate logo. Actually, no. Let's start off with rookie minicamp. So I think that's what I have pulled up here already. You guys are about to find out with me. Yes, that is what I have put up already. So these are our first looks so far at the Patriots 2024 draft class in the building, getting suited up and getting ready. Let me tell you, I am all for it, baby. I don't think I've ever been this excited. I'm about to break my entire set. You guys are about to fly on the floor if I keep this up. But I don't know the last time that I was this excited about a draft class. Maybe 2021 is the closest that it got just because of Mac Jones being selected in the first round. But I mean, this, like I said, I've talked about the draft class ad nauseum, but you double down at wide receiver. You take 2 highly thought upon wide receivers like Javon Baker and Jalen Polk. Both were easily top 15 wide receivers in this draft class. The Patriots able to get both of those guys, obviously getting Drake May. You get your developmental tight end, Jem Bell in the 7th, doubling up on quarterback 2. A lot of exciting players in this draft class. But this is our first look here at, it looks like Javon Baker suiting himself up for a helmet. It looks like one thing the Patriots are going to continue to do with their rookies is that they're still going to wait, not even their rookies, but their players in general, is that they're going to wait probably around training camp would be my guess, or late OTAs to start putting logos on the helmet. And that's something that Belichick did to kind of symbolize you have to earn the uniform. You have to earn the logo and you have to earn your number. Again, Gerard Mayo, he's not doing the number thing. You want to come in and you want number 11, claim number 11 right now. I'm not going to make you wait until training camp, but it does look like they are going to at least make these players wait to put the logo on the helmet, unless I'm missing something. Unless we get to 30 pictures from now and all of a sudden we're seeing a logo on the helmet. It looks like that's something they're going to be doing. You see there, Jem Bell, 7th round tight end pick. He's also getting suited up there for a helmet. And I saw this photo, man. I saw this photo circulating earlier, and I don't know if Javon Baker and especially Drake May, I don't know if these guys just look young, if they just have a baby face, or if I'm genuinely just getting older. I'm 22. I'm 22 just for the record. So I'm older than Drake May, but I think I'm still younger than Javon Baker. And I don't know if I'm just getting older, and you guys let me know your thoughts, but they look like children. Like they literally look like kids younger than me that I am looking down on. I mean, it brings me back to like those high school days. And I'm just roaming through the hallways, looking at the underclassmen, being like, y'all look like some babies. That's what this feels like. And I've never felt this about any Patriots player, any rookie class coming in. But that was my immediate thought and reaction when I saw Drake May and Javon Baker in this photo. So I hope it's not that I'm getting old, and I hope it's just that they have baby faces. But you guys let me know. Got Gerard Mayo here. First look at Gerard Mayo with this rookie class. Looks like we got Joe Milton. Also, look at Joe Milton rocking this rocket necklace. And you know damn well this is diamond studded everywhere. I would love to know alone how much this big ass thick rocket necklace is from Jem Bell, because he hasn't even gotten into the NFL yet. And dude has spent probably every single paycheck he got at the collegiate level on that necklace. It's dope. But damn, dude. And it looks like that's all of the photos we got, at least from here. And now we kind of break in the photos that we got from rookie minicamp. And it wasn't a whole lot. I did post these pictures on Twitter and my Instagram also, so make sure you guys follow me there. But this is your first look at Drake May. Let me zoom in a little. This is your first look at Drake May throwing at Patriots rookie minicamp. And again, it does look like my theory was correct. Again, you're getting your numbers, you're getting the logo on the side of the jerseys. But other than that, you have to earn the logo on the side of the helmet. And again, that's just kind of going back to this theory of work for it, right? Kind of a way of motivating these players. Something Belichick did, and something that Gerard Mayo looks like he is turning over as he takes over as the Patriots' new head coach. Also, this is going to be your first look at Jalen Polk. He is officially rocking number 1. And let me tell you, we're not getting into rookie numbers just yet, but that number 1, just on his jersey, bro, like that just, it fits Jalen Polk, bro. Like, I think I'm going to have to rock a Drake May jersey this year and then a Jalen Polk number 1 jersey because, I mean, man, let me tell you, that just looks fire on Jalen Polk. The only other number I think would have went well with Jalen Polk would have been like, he could have rocked 11, and I think 11 would have been fire on him. I think he also could have rocked like that old Jacoby Myers 16, but obviously 11's taken by Tyquan Thornton, and I don't know about number 16, but again, I do like that number 1 for him on the, especially on like the outside. If the Patriots put him as like an X, kind of taking over that Devontae Parker jersey, it'd be fire. But moving on here, you also have Marcel Dial, Patriots 6th round cornerback. My first thoughts when I saw this picture of Marcel Dial, first off, bro got hops. Like, bro's got some hops on him, but he is small. Like, there were some questions on how tall was he. We heard 6 foot. We heard 5'10". We heard 5'11". I'm going to be interested to see what the Patriots put on their official website with how tall he is. But to me, he's looking more like in that 5'10", maybe 5'11" range. I just don't see Marcel Dial coming in being 6 foot or taller. So it does look like the Patriots are getting another one of those smaller cornerbacks. Keep in mind, guys, I did break down every single one of the Patriots draft selections. I did, breakdowns, my thoughts on them. Make sure you guys go ahead and check them out if you want to hear more of my overall football thoughts. Right now, this is just, our first look, first glance at these players. What am I thinking? And seeing Marcel Dial, my first thought is, yeah, dude's a little bit small. He's definitely not adding height to the Patriots cornerback room. He's going to add speed with that 4.4 speed, but height, that's definitely not what he's bringing. Again, I think ideally Marcel Dial is the type of guy that comes in and is your replacement for Jonathan Jones, a guy who can play outside, who can play inside. He has the speed to be able to match with receivers both on the inside and the outside. But because he's a little bit smaller, you kind of use him as more of a chess piece and not someone who's like your starting outside cornerback other than Gonzo. Because keep in mind, too, Jonathan Jones, it took time for Jonathan Jones to actually become a quality outside cornerback. And John Jones at what, 5'10", 5'11", he is much better as a slot than he is an outside corner, but because he was a veteran, by the time they placed him on the outside, he had a lot of experience. He was able to match up against those guys on the outside. So that's kind of the journey I'm thinking more for Marcel Dial is yeah, he can play the outside. I'm sure he'll compete there, but put him in the slot, man. Because Marcus Jones, too, 5'8", he's coming off a season-ending injury. He's someone you want to play mostly on special teams. You probably don't want him being your starting full-time slot cornerback either. But this is going to be our first look at Javon Baker. We got our first look at Jalen Polk. Now you're getting Javon Baker. This dude has some length to him. I mean, first and foremost, we go back here. We saw Jalen Polk. This dude's got some size and length on him, but you look at Javon Baker, and it really is the same thing. You just immediately see with both of the receivers that the Patriots took in this draft class is that they are adding height, they are adding size, and they are adding lengthy guys with big catch radiuses. I mean, again, look, Drake May doesn't have to throw dimes to these guys on every single pass because they have the catch radius. They have the length to be able to go up and make up for some of the inconsistent and inaccurate throws. Oh, excuse me. But inaccurate throws by Drake May until Drake May works on those mechanics. So definitely one of my biggest thoughts when looking at these rookie wide receivers. But moving on, you got Joe Milton. And let me tell you, Joe Milton, and again, we're going to get into the rookie numbers here in a minute, but him wearing a number 7 necklace when, if I remember correctly, he isn't going to be number 7. I think I got that right. I don't want to look stupid. Yeah, spoiler alert, he isn't number 7. So the fact that he's rocking a number 7 chain right now, he's going to have to get that changed. If I remember correctly, the reason that he can't have the number 7 jersey is I believe Jacoby Brissett is number 7. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Jacoby Brissett is number 7 this season. So that's probably why Joe Milton isn't wearing that. But it's just funny. He's going to be rocking 2 different numbers, 1 jersey number and then 1 necklace. This is Caden Wallace. First kind of look here at Caden. I honestly wish that we got more of an actual full body shot and not kind of just this low shot of Caden Wallace, just because I want to see his size. I want to see his build. I want to see his frame, especially wearing, at least some type of gear, right? Obviously, they're not wearing pads out there, but they're wearing helmets. Give us kind of an idea of what to expect from somebody like Caden Wallace, because, he's somebody that we're not talking about playing right tackle. Although he did it at the collegiate level throughout his entire college career, because Olufashinu, who obviously went to the in-division rival New York Jets, played on the left side. We know they're going to try to play Caden Wallace as a left tackle. So I want to see if he has that size and that frame to be able to play on the left. And right now, this doesn't really give us that first look. This is Layden Robinson, Patriots. I was going to say starting right guard. He could be. We don't know, but he was what? 4th round pick? Not really too much to take away from here also. And then Jem Bell, 7th round pick. Let me go out a little bit so you guys can maybe get a little bit more of a full body picture. With 7th round pick, tight end Jem Bell here. I'm excited for this one, man. Like this one got me pumped up. There isn't necessarily a massive takeaway other than, again, there's no one around him. So it's hard to kind of compare his size. But I feel like just looking at him mixed with the depth around him, you look at the ball coming in, but also if you know the Patriots practice field, if you've been to training camp, you kind of have some familiarity on like where he is and what's behind him. And so kind of just using context clues, he's not a big guy. And we know that, he was a much, much smaller tight end transitioning to the NFL and during the draft process, was that he was one of the smallest tight ends at 6'2". And I think this kind of just backs it up, because you're looking at him and you're saying he looks more like a big wide receiver than he does a big tight end. And the problem with Jem Bell is that a lot of his characteristics don't translate very well to the tight end position as he moves from the collegiate level to the NFL, but he is fast for a tight end. He ran a 4.6, and I think that was the second or third fastest among tight ends in this entire draft class for 2024. But not just that, if you look at him transitioning to a wide receiver, he is now one of the slowest wide receivers in the National Football League. N'Keal Harry ran a 4.5. So if you want to say N'Keal Harry was slow and sluggish as a wide receiver, you transition Jem Bell from tight end to wide receiver. He's even slower than N'Keal Harry is. So I think that's why Jem Bell dropped as low as he did, is because he played all over the formation offensively. I mean, he played in the slot, he played outside, he played inline tight end, he played H-back, he played fullback. He didn't excel in one specific area, but he doesn't have the intangibles also to stand out and work in the NFL as a tight end. But if he tries to transition to wide receiver, he doesn't have the contested catch ability, he doesn't have the size, and he's not fast either. So he doesn't really work as a big outside X receiver also. I think that's why he fell as low as he did, and the Patriots got value here. But with his after the catch ability being one of the best after the catch and forced missed tackles tight end in the nation over the last several years, since 2015, he definitely has characteristics to stand out in the NFL. But let's see what some of you guys are saying. Juju is 7. Juju is 7. Jacoby's 14. That's what it was. I knew 7 was taken. I just couldn't remember who 7 was taken by. Let me tell you, though, if Juju does end up getting cut, there is going to be a race here first. There is going to be a race for number 7, and it's going to be between Joe Milton and Jacoby Brissett, the two quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett, I think, has rocked both 7 and 14 throughout his career that he's had with several different teams. But I think he's more of a 7 guy than he's been 14. Ashton says Juju's going to get cut or traded. We'll see. I actually think that Juju, unless they're able to have any type of trade compensation or trade package for him, I think he's going to last through training camp, and they're ultimately just going to see what they get from him. He's not going to be your wide receiver 1. He's not going to be your wide receiver 2. He's not going to be your wide receiver 3 also. But I think that realistically, Juju could fight for that final 6th or 7th roster spot as a wide receiver on the Patriots 53-man roster, because something that I think is very, very underlooked is the fact that this wide receiver core is still very, very, very young. I mean, you have Jem Bell as a tight end. You have Jalen Polk, Javon Baker. You have Pop Douglas, who's only in his 2nd year. A lot of really, really young guys. Not to mention that even, KJ Osborne, he's a veteran in the league, but this is his 1st year within the system. You need guys who are veterans, but not just veterans. You need guys who have experience in this system and have been in Gillette, have been around these players and these coaches and the system for a little while now to help build up that atmosphere and help out these younger players. And I think that's something that Juju could serve if he does end up playing well enough to serve as their 6th wide receiver. So that's something to watch. But making sure we don't have any super chats or anything yet. Let's just start breaking down. You should do a Mac Jones. You should do a Mac Jones be Joe Milton comparison. It would be a good video, and you'd be the first to do it. Mac Jones. Well, they're not comparable. So, I mean, if you're saying I should do comparisons between the two players, they're definitely not comparable at all. I mean, you're talking about, a 1st round projected and 1st round taken quarterback in Mac Jones, who had a super high floor, but ceiling was super, super low. And then you have Joe Milton, who was taken in the 6th round, who was a 5th round projection, who is the opposite of Mac Jones, right? He has that low floor, but he does have a high ceiling. But let me stop sharing my screen and let's bring up. Where is it? Where did I put it? I have a couple of screens open here. Let's bring up rookie numbers and we'll break down my thoughts on those. All right, there we go. Make sure that you guys can see. Perfect. So these are going to be your official numbers for rookies. And I say official lightly just because obviously things can change. Right now, these were the numbers that were open, right? Like if At the end of the offseason, as the Patriots start cutting guys to make their 90-man roster go to 53, and let's say they cut somebody like Juju, and the number 7 opens up, Joe Milton very well could switch from 19 to 7 because it's not like anybody's bought his jerseys yet. I'm sure it's not like he's, it doesn't matter if he switches numbers from 19 to 7 is ultimately what I'm saying. So there are still potentials for some of these guys to change their numbers, but I do think that for the most part, these are going to be the numbers that you're going to be seeing for these players, at least for the 2024 season. So Jalen Polk getting number 1, I liked it for him. I'm trying to remember what number he wore in college. In fact, I think I actually have a picture queued up from him. So he did wear number 2 in college. So I'm trying to think who has number 2 for the Patriots. So number 2 actually was taken. KJ Osborne has number 2. New Patriots wide receiver, a veteran addition. He obviously wasn't going to get that from KJ. So Jalen Polk obviously sticking here with number 1. I do think if number 2 was open, Polk probably would have went with that. But spoiler alert, and maybe it's a hot take, I actually like number 1 on Polk a lot better. He kind of has that Devontae Parker vibes going on. I do wonder, though, if somebody like Javon Baker would have looked a little bit better as number 1. You guys let me know. What do you think? Because I actually think that Javon Baker would have looked a little bit numbered in that number 1. But I do like receivers rocking that number 1. So Jalen Polk rolling with that, I could definitely get behind. Like, I think that's heat. That's probably a jersey that I'm going to get. Javon Baker rolling with number 6. He has some connections to the number, so it does make sense. Some of these numbers definitely do look a little bit wonky. Like number 6 for a wide receiver, I don't necessarily love. I mean, what happened to the days where, these guys were getting like, 11 or 17 or, something like that. Numbers in the 80s, like those were some good days, like 80, 83, 88, stuff like that. I would have liked to see receivers get back to those days, like those Amendola types of days, back in the Patriots times. They're 15, right? But again, Javon Baker having connections back to number 6 makes a lot of sense. Drake May continuing to roll with number 10. That makes absolutely nothing but sense. It's obviously a quarterback number 2, so I love it. The last 2 quarterbacks for this organization taken in the first round have both rocked number 10. Hopefully Drake May pans out a lot better than the last guy to rock number 10. But I mean, what? Jimmy Garoppolo was here. He rocked number 10. Mac Jones was here. He rocked number 10. Now Drake May is here. He's rocking number 10. Honestly, as long as no player's rocking number 12, I think really who cares? And hopefully Drake May cements himself to a point where number 10 gets retired just as well as number 12 does. But moving on here, Joe Milton with number 19. Bit of an odd number for a quarterback for sure. I think more of a wide receiver or like a gadget player wearing number 19. But again, with the rule that was taken over by the NFL a couple of years ago, certain positions don't really have to abide by certain numbers anymore. So again, I do think that Joe Milton is subject to change just because, if that number 7 does open up, I think he does switch. That's the only exception I think he makes, though. Like, I don't think if, number 2 opens up, that Joe Milton's going to number 2. Or if Jalen Polk goes from number 1 to number 2, that Joe Milton goes with number 1. I think the only exception for Joe Milton to change his number would be if Juju was cut and number 7 opened up, just because that was his number at college. Marcel Dial rolling with number 27. Obviously, that was worn by J.C. Jackson. That was also worn by Miles Bryant this past season. I like that. I like Marcellus Dial in number 27. Like, that is a cornerback's number. I think it's very, very appealing for him. Not just that too, but like 27 has been kind of that ball hawk number for the Patriots in the past. Like 27 has been a good number for Patriots corners. I think of 21 and 27 when I think of some of the legendary cornerbacks for the Patriots, especially in recent years. So I like that number for Marcellus Dial. Leighton Robinson rolls with 63. I mean, that's a guard number. Caden Wallace rolls here with number 70. I'm trying to think who the last player was to wear 70. Was it Connor McDermott? Connor McDermott might have been the last guy to wear 70. I know 77 was Trent Brown, but that was taken by Chooks Okorafor. And then Jem Bell wearing number 88. Ooh, dude, I love that. I love Jem Bell wearing number 88. That kind of flashes me back to the Martellus Bennett days. I'm trying to think who the last player was after Martellus Bennett that was notable to wear number 88. But it's kind of that gadget player and somebody in Jaheim Bell that I think can be explosive. I really, really like 88 on him. I think that especially for a tight end, that is a tight end number, and it definitely holds some value behind it. So hopefully he can live up to it. But I like that. I think that's going to look fire when you just see Jaheim Bell shedding off 5, defenders and shaking into the end zone. Number 88. I love that. But what are your guys' thoughts on these rookie numbers? I would love to hear. Let's see. Gesicki. That's who it was. Gesicki was the last guy to wear 88. Obviously, he let us down, but, whatever. What number is Pop? Pop switched to... What did Pop switch to? I think Pop switched to 3, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong there, but I do believe. Neil said, are you going to be letting Patreon members on? Yeah, we will let Patreon members on at the end of the stream. Share some of your final thoughts before we ultimately do get off. Didn't Demaryius Thomas wear 88 in the preseason before we cut him? Rest in peace to him, of course. Yeah, that was, dude, I remember the day that he passed. I just sat here in shock. Yeah, but I do believe he did wear 88 for the Patriots. He wore 88 for, what team did he go to after the Pats? The Texans? I think he wore 88 for the Texans then too. But I think the number that I like the most is probably Jaheim Bell and Marcel Dial. I think that those are the most appealing numbers. Drake May is obviously also very appealing with number 10. It's just obviously it's very basic. That's just a number that you kind of expect for a quarterback. I would say the numbers that are a little bit more questionable, Javon Baker and Joe Milton, I don't think that they're necessarily eye-popping for the positions, but who cares? But Mike brings up an excellent point. He says, is the Patriots' new logo floating around real? Mike, now is the time that I think we bring up the Patriots' new logo, as some people are calling it, and share what we know about it and share my overall thoughts. So I actually posted this on Twitter. I posted this on Twitter about, I think it was a week ago now, if I remember correctly. When was this? This was May 3rd. I posted this because this was something that was floating around social media a lot. Not just that, this was one of my biggest low-key takeaways from the draft that I never talked about, other than obviously the players they took. But there was this logo floating around behind Elliott Wolf throughout his press conferences. And you saw the Flying Elvis logo built in there, and you just said to yourself, I have never seen this before. Is this a new logo by the Patriots? Is this something, under wraps that we're not hearing about? But they strategically placed it. They strategically placed it behind Elliott Wolf to start getting traction, for the fan base to hear about it, to kind of get a feel from the fan base on what they think about it. And now they released it. So from what's being said, this new logo that you see right here is the alternate logo for the team. What does alternate mean? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's going to go with an alternate uniform that they're going to have for the upcoming season. A lot of teams have those alternate uniforms that they wear once or twice a year. The Patriots alternate that they've had over the last couple of seasons was the red jerseys with the old Patriots logo, like that vintage old style Patriots logo. Maybe with a completely new team, a new head coach, new general manager, new front office, they're saying, when Belichick first got here, we changed significant amount of things, right? It was a new age when Tom Brady and Bill Belichick had gotten here. Maybe they're doing the same thing with Elliott Wolf and Gerard Mayo. They're saying, Belichick's gone, Tom Brady's gone. This isn't the old New England Patriots. We need to change a little bit. And maybe next year, because I think they'll be up for new uniforms, because I think you have to wait 4 or 5 years to change your uniforms. Maybe the Patriots decide to do that. I kind of hope they don't. Maybe make a couple of adjustments, but don't change them, because I actually like their uniforms. Hot take, I know. But maybe the logo is something that we potentially look at being changed also. Now, from what's being said, at least right now, no, this isn't a logo change. The Patriots aren't getting rid of the Flying Elvis logo in exchange for this logo, at least right now. And I know that Evan Lazar tweeted out and was saying to Patriots fans too, and the Patriots even tweeted out a meme about it, that no, this isn't the logo being changed. It's just an alternate logo. But I remember the same thing being said back in 2016 when the Patriots jerseys that they have now were their color rush jerseys. And they said, no, it's just an alternate uniform. It's just the color rush jersey. We're not changing the jerseys. And then in 2020, when Tom Brady left, they did switch the jerseys to the color rush jerseys that they said were not going to be changed. So ultimately, I do wonder if this is a scenario where they start introducing this logo to the fan base and to Boston and to the NFL. And they're like, this is just the alternate. You see it a couple times a year. But what if, in a few years from now, or even a year from now, this is the logo that we do see ultimately replaced? Now, what I will say is, as an alternate, I do like the logo. As an alternate, it's cool. Like, I think that this logo on a hat would look fire. This logo on a nice t-shirt, I think that would look fire. But this logo on a uniform, this logo on a helmet, over the Flying Elvis, that would look absolutely, absolutely terrible. You're just telling me that you got rid of your unique logo to slap on a circle on the side of your helmet. That's just as bad as the Washington football team putting a W on their helmets. Like, it just looks like crap. So ultimately, I hope that this isn't something that down the line they do transition to their logo, just because I also think if you're going to change your logo, first off, don't make it a circle. Second off, don't put your old logo within your new logo. That would be dumb. But again, if we're talking about just like another way to brand, then okay, because even the Washington football team, like, they're known for like the W, but they also are known for having that kind of like circle with like a C in it too. They have a couple of different logos that the Washington Commanders are known for, other than just the W and other than just kind of like the Commanders logo that they have also. So I'm not completely against it, but this should definitely not be something that we see on jerseys, and this should not be a rebrand of the New England Patriots, that's for sure. But again, I would love to know what you guys think. I'd rather go back to the old school logo than this one. See, I definitely wouldn't go back to the old school logo, just because I think the old school logo it's vintage. I like the old school logo as an alternate jersey a couple of times a year, but I wouldn't like the old logo to come back as their new logo, right? Again, I like it as vintage, but if we're talking like modern day NFL and modern day Patriots, I think that the old school logo is kind of out. Trey says that the logo is gas. Again, I think the logo's cool, especially for certain branding techniques and just having more unique ways to have merchandise at Patriots Place. Okay, it's not bad. I like it. Again, I would rock this on a shirt. I would rock this on a hat. But if you're telling me, see if I have a jersey somewhere, and I don't with me. Okay, but let's say I'm wearing a jersey right now. If you're telling me that the Patriots are going to take off, if they're going to take off the Flying Elvis on the side to put this circle logo, then hell no. If you're telling me, at least I have my helmet here. If you're telling me that you're going to get rid of this logo on the side of the helmet to slap on a freaking circle, no. It just looks like crap. It looks like dull, and that would be such a bad move. I mean, teams that have a circle logo, or teams that just have the initials of their team in the logo, it's just lazy. At least with the Flying Elvis, it's creative, right? It's not just a circle with, NE in the middle, which is actually exactly, ironically, what that is. But again, I'm not gonna get, did I have this the other way before? Off the check. I'm not going to get too upset yet unless they obviously made the official transition. But from what's being said, no, the logo is not, officially being switched. And it's just more of a, how do I put this? It's just more of another logo. It's just an alternate. It's just having something else to kind of help adapt the Patriots into a new modern day age New England Patriots. I think because Belichick's gone, I think because Brady's gone, and this is, again, just such a different day and age of the New England Patriots than what we're used to over the last 20 years. They want something to separate what this team is in 2024 versus what this team was during the dominant 20-year run of Brady and Belichick. So looks like Ashton does agree on a hat or shirt. It's fine, but not on a helmet. Completely agree. Hat or t-shirt, I'm all for it, but not on a helmet or jersey. Looks like we're all kind of feeling the same thing. New logo is okay. Flying Elvis like we're flying into battle. Yeah, I agree. Right? Like it's original. It's original. There's a story behind it. Big shout out to my boy Neil Ray, $5 donation. It actually just popped up. I don't know why it didn't pop up before, considering you donated this like 7 minutes ago. So looks like YouTube's a little bit behind, but shout out to you, buddy. You said, how are you? Polk is fire. Baker is a steal. Bell is a steal. Dial is also good. 88 and 27 are fine. 70 suits Wallace. Starting lineup, 7 to 9 wins. So I haven't done my official breakdown just yet. I'll be live on the channel, and then I'll be live on Bleacher Report next Thursday for the schedule release. And then obviously shortly followed after, I'll do like my way too early record prediction. But I do agree with you. And I am doing fine, by the way. I am doing fine. You know, man, just trying to do everything at once, trying to adapt with school, trying to also keep up here on YouTube, keep up with the AFC's roundtable, and do everything that I'm also doing behind the scenes. So a lot of things happening, a lot of moving parts, but all definitely exciting. I'm just trying to find a schedule for everything to make sure that I'm doing everything adequately and giving everything the attention that it needs. But I do agree, you know, Baker was a steal, Bell was a steal. I would even say that that Joe Milton was also a steal too. I mean, this was a guy that was projected 5th round pick, especially for the quarterback position. He has developmental traits 100%. Some of his traits are really 1st round traits. So the fact that the Patriots were able to get him in the 6th round for a lot of teams that needed quarterback, I thought he would have went earlier and he didn't. So I would even consider that a little bit of a steal, but definitely not to the realm of where Bell or even Baker was. But big shout out to you, Neil. Really appreciate you. I'm going to put on Let me see. Hopefully I have Patreon pulled up already. I'm going to place the Patreon link on for you guys. So if you're a Patreon member, look out for that so that you can come and join. Probably should have done this before I hopped on. I didn't necessarily think about that, but like I said, guys, tomorrow is going to be day 2 of Patriots rookie minicamp, and that is going to be when the media is allowed in. So we will get a little bit more information than we did today. I'm sure we'll get a lot more pictures. We're going to get actual videos. We didn't get actual footage. I'm trying to think of today's date. May 10th. We didn't get any actual footage of the guys at rookie minicamp today. We just got a couple of photos that the Patriots posted. But with media being there from several different media outlets, I would expect us to get a plethora of different videos. Kind of like the Chiefs got a video of Xavier Worthy running terrible looking routes and then just dropping passes. So hopefully we don't get any of those so that our fan base, not fan base, but our team is not clowned already. But I'll definitely be excited for that. Hopefully we get some type of news like we do in training camp where we get like 7 on 7s, 11 on 11s, you know, stuff like that, to where we get something with substance. There's not going to be a whole lot to take away because it's not like the entire team is there. It's just the rookies, but we can kind of see how's Drake May's deep ball. How is, you know, his accuracy? How's his footwork looking? You know, and then obviously how are Javon Baker, Jalen Polk, Jaheim Bell, how are those guys looking in space too? So definitely something I'm excited for. But that link is on Patreon for any members that do kind of want to join. Come on and share some of your last thoughts on some of the topics we talked here about today. You know, what are your thoughts on the logo? What are your thoughts on the jersey numbers for the rookies? And of course, anything that we were able to see today from rookie minicamp also. They just released their highlight reel on YouTube. Ooh, I'm going to be excited to see that. I would share it with you guys and react to it live, but I don't want to get copyrighted. And it looks like we got our boy Neil Ray on as a Patreon member, buddy. What is going on? What are your thoughts on some of these
What's
things?
good, Peachy? That logo, man. Don't put that on a uni. I would have a heart attack. Get out of a heart attack and go back into it, man. No, no, no. On a hat, like on a like fit it will probably look so fire.
Yeah, bro. Imagine that
But
like right here, just like
yeah,
the circle logo right
so
there. Look,
fire.
it stands out a little too. Like those
Yeah.
where it's not just like it's not just like built in, like it's not like a sticker, but it's
No.
more it like stands out a little bit, like it comes out
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
hat.
yeah,
I think like a
yeah,
patch like that would be dope. That would be dope.
yeah, yeah. My question: would you be cool with having like a patch on the uniform? You still have the Elvis right on the helmet and everything else, right? But you have a little patch on the left or right hand side of the shirt, like a little one. Not
Yeah,
crazy, not big, but a little one in there. But in maybe in a certain material where it's not so crazy popping out, but it looks good on there.
yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be against it. I think it would I think the question would be more so like, what's the purpose behind it? Because you obviously have
Yeah,
your main logo there. So then if you have kind of this alternate logo kind of off to the side, I think the question mark would just be, well, what's the purpose behind you placing
yeah,
another alternate logo on your jerseys, unless you're trying to make that transition from one logo into the other. But I wouldn't necessarily be against it. You just obviously wouldn't be able to put it on the same side that the captains would have their captains patches, because that is something that they're bringing back.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited for this team though, PG. I mean, we got Dial. People don't understand. This kid's like a sticky type of corner. Like he's a physical guy. He'll get at you at the line. Um, if you just look at his tape, he's a really good guy. Bell, pretty much a steal. At that round, we just nabbed him. We nabbed somebody that somebody should have nabbed a long time ago, several rounds before, and that's a great, great steal. Look, man, after the whole Wallace pick, like this kid's athletic. He could switch to left tackle and do something. It's not ideal, but
Mhm.
I can't say he didn't address the O line. He addressed it. We got the right guard. I remember you made a point about maybe they move so to left guard. They get rid of Cole Strange,
Yeah,
you
yeah, with
know,
Landon Robinson.
and they put the new guy right guard. Yeah, maybe they do that, or maybe they keep Strange. Strange, I think I don't know how many more years left, but when he's healthy, he's good. But how much has he been healthy?
Yeah, exactly. And keep in mind too, that wasn't like a Gerard Mayo Elliott Wolf pick too. So that might be something that even at the time they didn't agree with, but they didn't exactly have the power to be able to be like Belichick. In God's name, no. Like if Belichick wanted to
Yeah,
pick, Belichick was making the pick.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, it does sound like that was more of like a Matt Groh and Bill Belichick pick than an Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo. Like they didn't have any power to kind of veto or have their thought on that. Big
yeah.
shout out to Jet Central. For anybody who's looking for some in-division rival news, make sure you guys go ahead and check out Jet Central. Guy is not biased whatsoever, and definitely knows his stuff, not just about the Jets, but even breaks down some other NFL news. So go ahead and check out my buddy Ian over at Jet Central. Really, really appreciate it. Also, shout out to Matt for the comment. I really appreciate that. It says PG is inspirational for hard
Mhm.
grindstone mother effers. Mad respect. I appreciate it. Like I said, a lot of stuff going on in my life, man. I mean, I'm trying to get the degree for sportscasting, keep up with the channel, working with Bleacher Report, working with the AFC East Roundtable, trying to take on a bigger role with them too, and doing some behind the scenes stuff. So many moving parts right now that my brain is just like not comprehending everything. So if I sound a little off in today's stream, that's probably why. But you know what? Every good thing in life comes with
Yeah.
trials and tribulations, and
Huh?
it's going to be a journey to try to figure everything out right now. But once everything does get figured out, like man, a lot of really really great opportunities. Not
PG,
just for the channel.
enjoy it, bro. Enjoy it. You're young. You're 22, my dog. Look, I'm 31. I wish I knew what I was passionate about at your age. I didn't. Um, and you already know. Enjoy each and every bit of journey. The hard, tough parts about it, the craziness, the madness of it, the chaos. Even enjoy that, bro. You're gonna look back in about 5 years and you're gonna laugh. All right.
I hope so, man.
Enjoy every bit of it, man. And I'm happy you picked something you're very passionate about. You're going to school for it so you can actually do something instead of just a useless degree. So that's good, man. And I wish you the best of luck. You get there in time, bro. And don't rush it. Please don't rush it. Money comes and goes, bro. PG, it's gonna come. It's gonna come in such ways it'll drive you crazy.
Yeah, man, for
So
sure. For
it'll
sure.
come, bro. You keep focusing and do you do, man.
Yeah,
But
man. It all comes down. It all comes down to the fan base and everybody watching, everybody supporting. All
yeah.
20,000 of the subscribers couldn't be here without you guys. So just know there's a lot of things in the works and a lot of things that I'm trying to do for the channel. Give back to Pats Nation. Little spoiler alert too. I will be there for Tom Brady's induction ceremony on June 12th.
Oh,
So I will try to give you guys some inside footage, some inside looks, any news that we get, and I'll make sure to report live from Gillette
I
Stadium
hope you
for
meet him, man.
well,
I hope
dude,
you meet Brady.
I don't think words would come out of my mouth if I got to speak to Tom Brady.
Bro,
I
I
probably
would
start
lose
bawling
it.
my eyes out, dude. I would I would cry like a baby.
You're fanboy out. I was fanboy out too. I don't know how to react either. Like that's the GOAT right there that we all grew up watching. Man
Bro,
just destroyed every defense he could look at. But yeah, man. Hey, we
yeah,
got a we got a new I guess era, and that's what Mayo is establishing. And I honestly like it the way he deals with players. I mean, let's now that we're all calmed down, we could look back and be like, all right, you know what? Wolf did some good things. Sure, he didn't get Ridley, but man offered 21 mil per year. Jesus Christ, he matched he matched Jaguars pretty much. Like I mean Titans. So there's so much you could do, right? He got Owenu back. We got Barmore back. We got Henry back. We got KB. We got KJ Osborne, which is good, solid number two. We got Gibson. We needed a running back, so we got Gibson, who's a satellite type of running back. We got key guys signed back. You got Duggar. He's a box safety, but for the deal that you gave him, yeah, I could work with that. It's a fair enough deal. Not too crazy. Now that you look at the market, what's going to go on? But I mean, he did everything he needs to do, and the way Mayo is running it, where he respects players, he likes guys. I can see people in years coming along, players will be like, "Yeah, I want to actually play for Mayo." You know, it comes back to the environment that Brady made, where people want to play with Brady. You know,
yeah,
and then early on, if people remember early on, Bill Belichick's time, people actually there was defensive guys and offensive guys who wanted to play with Bill because they're like, "Yo, what is this mastermind gonna do with me? Can he freaking take me to a different level?" You know. So we're
yeah,
slowly getting back that with Mayo and everyone, and it's good to see this refresh. It's gonna take some time. People can't rush it. We're looking at a 3-year build. By 3 year, we're gonna be a very competitive freaking team. But this year, I can see 7 to 9 wins. To be honest with you, man, you know, but it all depends on how we develop and what we use precisely, the injuries, and how we go about these players and when we use them. You know, um, I would assume with the guy that was with us who went to Washington, a quality control coach, is now a receivers coach.
mhm,
Um,
from
I
Washington. Yeah,
would I would assume, yeah, I would assume he would actually do better compared to what we have with Bill Belichick. Not to knock at Bill Belichick or anything, but I assume he would do better there than Troy Brown. So we got that. We got Taquan Underwood. We got our tight ends coach from Cleveland, who, by the way, Njoku, he helped make the guy get him set up. So you have him being a quarterbacks coach. Not ideal, but hey, it still helps to get that type of information, knowledge, and help. So you got that. You got Alex Van Pelt. I mean, I love this guy. You got an O line coach, and this is how you really truly could develop guys. You just there. You can't mess this up, bro. Sit this guy down 4 to 8 weeks if you have to, unless he truly beats Jacoby, and then you could let it rip with this kid. You got your receivers. If people want to trash that poker, say he's not that guy. I mean, tell me what play he doesn't make. Sure, he could be slow on things, but he pretty much makes his plays.
yeah,
In the
yeah.
starting phases, you could beat him, but he will easily catch up with his maneuvering and then get back to what he needs to get to and then get the 50-50 ball. Baker's like a pure X guy, but both can move everywhere on the field.
Mhm.
You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah,
and
you hit that
you
perfect.
have Polk who had a Dunze, and people got to remember this. If he wasn't there, what's this kid going to do? 13, 1,400 yards? Maybe 15? The guy was already at 1,100.
Yeah, I think you touched upon that perfectly too. Like, but I mean, both of these guys, yes, are like big, contested catch guys. Both can play the X. both have like that dog mentality, but both can also be moved around, especially somebody like Jalen Polk. So I'm definitely excited about both of those picks. They definitely can be complementary picks. And I think also you hit on something that I think isn't being talked about enough, in the fact that this is a rebuild that goes much, much deeper than just the
Yep.
players on the field. Now we have the defense, okay? We know we have the defense. We have pretty good
Yep.
depth along defense too that was added this offseason. So I'm not worried about that side of the ball.
No.
Offensively, that needed that help, and they're starting that, but it's going to take some time. But not only that, but it's, to me, more so behind the scenes. And everybody only looks at the football team. What are they producing on the field? But so
Yep.
many times, football teams come back to what is happening off the field. What is the mentality? What is the locker room? And that also comes back to, how players are not just playing, but if players actually want
Hmm.
to play for you. And that's what was so great about Tom Brady. And that's why
Yeah.
people wanted to play here was, yes, some people wanted to play for Belichick, but a lot of people wanted to play for Tom Brady, not just because he was a winner, but because of his mentality and who he was. And the way that I look at Gerard Mayo is, look, is Gerard Mayo going to be this X's and O's like dynamic, just coach? And I don't know if he will be, and that's something that nobody knows. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But I think of him as like a Dan Campbell, the head coach for the Detroit Lions, and that's the role that I could see Gerard Mayo kind of being and serving, the type of coach to
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's not all going to be on his back, but he's
Hmm.
going to make it a team effort with not just the guys
Yeah.
on the field, but all of the coaches, the guys in the front office. It's going to be a collaborative effort and not just all of the weight on his back. But what he's going to try to do is that his biggest goal is to try to make everybody know that it is a team effort, a team sport, and get everybody to start working together and make the New England Patriots a place that everybody wants to play for, because it's just a good atmosphere. It's somewhere that
Yeah.
when you're there, you're happy. And when you can build that type of atmosphere, there's going to be players who are going to want to stay there, who are going to end up
Yeah.
taking pay cuts for you, because
Yeah.
yes, money is great. Money is important. At the end of the day, nobody wants to be somewhere where they are not appreciated. Nobody wants to be somewhere where they're miserable. And some players
Yeah.
will put up being miserable if they're winning, but especially in these early ages of maybe not winning games and developing your team all around, you
Yeah.
need to have a place that people just want to be. And I think that is something that Gerard Mayo is putting into place, and it worked out for the Detroit Lions. Now, did it work
Yeah.
out for them year one? No, but they have developed over time, and they didn't
Yeah.
necessarily have the best roster in football. They started to put together a very good roster, but they started winning games because they had everyone playing for each other. They had everybody on the same page. They had everybody motivated, and sometimes that mentality is even better than having players on the football field that have pure talent. I mean, life in general
Yeah.
is all about mentality. What you think
Mm.
is ultimately what your life becomes. What you think is how you're going to act. And I think having that mindset in football is so much more valuable than people realize. And I think we're going to see that with Jerron Mayo.
And I totally agree with you. He has a type of thing where people want to be the dog for him. You know, that dog mentality. Like, yeah, I want to go fight for this man. I want to go in the trenches, and I want to go win this thing. And we're gonna work together. And you can see it even with the rookies. They just came in and they're already working out with each other, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? They're
Mhm.
working out with each other. The receivers, the quarterback, everything. They're already starting to do that. And you see that with Mayo being able, with his charisma, drawing more and more people like that, being a collaborative thing, like you said, working together. Something exactly what the head coach of Detroit does. It's facilitating properly the right people at the right places and trusting them, and not just being like, hey, I don't care what your opinion is, I'm gonna override it, you know?
Exactly.
When
And,
you
and Mike
trust the
says
right
this,
people, yeah.
Mike says
When
too,
you
don't forget.
trust the right people, if you look at McAdoo, let's be honest here, McAdoo predicted Mahomes, Lamar, Allen.
Mhm.
God damn it, bro. And
Yeah,
Baker.
yeah.
And now this. And now Drake. I get, and it's like, look, he's gonna be a development guy. You know what? He could be probably decent at development. I can't say he'll be great or good, but I think he'll be pretty decent, and it helps, especially when you got other guys around him. This is set up to be a great thing. And honestly, at first, I'm sure me and a lot of people wanted a different coach. We had Vrabel in mind and so many other people as a head coach. But as time goes on, I could see why Kraft chose him. He has that leadership mentality, and he was our captain of our defense back. And I'm sure PG, you've been watching those times, right? When
Oh
the
yeah.
hits that Mayo used to hits were are illegal now.
Yeah.
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 So during that time, that man was a leader. He was a leader of the defense, and he still kept that mentality and his smarts, and you could see it. So it's like it gives me trust in him that damn, he's already fixing up the locker rooms. He's already paying guys. So before we used to let guys walk. Let's be honest here. Henry might have walked, KB might have walked, Owenu might have walked, and probably Barmore would have walked. Maybe one or two would have stayed with Bill Belichick. But the way I'm looking at this, he has some influence in saying this, right? Ultimately, Wolf signs the contract at the end of the day. He has saying this to be like, and he pointed out, and Wolf pointed out, you want to keep the homegrown guys here. We want to solidify this. Example, if we kept Myers, what would have happened, PG? You know what I mean? If McGinnis was kept years ago, what would happen? If Wes Walker was kept. So it's like to keep now you can say, all right, we're keeping our defensive guy, we're keeping our offensive guys. We want to keep this nucleus and we're gonna build through it. We're gonna build through it like Elliot Wolf's dad, through the draft, help out this quarterback, get everything set. It's a whole new age. And I hope people don't ponder in the past of how we're gonna compare to that because it's a whole different ball game now. The way this is gonna be set, please, and I understand it. Don't be concerned or scared to be like, all right, we won't spend on receivers next year. We won't spend on this. Well, we didn't do it this year, but if you look at next year's receiving class, it's insane. So
Yeah.
it kind of is a smart move to sit when you got two good receivers who got over 1,000 yards. You got other receivers in the bank. You got a new tight end and two tight ends. Why do you really need to spend that unless it's a really good trade? Why not sit, play with this, develop the guys. Next year, you could go get them free agency instead of giving up any capital. I mean, we're gonna have another 100 million, 120 million apparently in cap.
Yeah, they
So,
should roll over
you,
some money too from
yeah,
this offseason that wasn't used. So they should probably again, we're gonna see next offseason because we don't know the exact numbers now, but they should probably be the team with the most cap space. If not definitely top three, but yeah, they
yeah.
should definitely have some of the most cap space. Neil,
I
I'm
mean,
actually
PG.
curious. I'm curious about
What's
your
up?
take on this. So dude, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Patriots Global. But so I tweeted this out, and it started to gain some more traction than I thought it was going to. And I stand by this. I wasn't throwing out a blasphemous take or anything
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
truly stand by this. I said this shouldn't be a hot take whatsoever. The Patriots' current uniforms are much better than what they had previously. Anybody who says different is a victim of the good times that the previous uniforms represented. So what I'm trying to say is that what you see on the left side, these uniforms on the left side, they look better. They are better looking uniforms than the uniforms you see on the right side. And bro, let me tell you, I can actually probably show you if I
Hmm?
click on it. The amount of people that came at me, take this down. Dude saying this about college level design jerseys. Uh,
Oh god.
yeah, dude, people came at my neck about this, and let me tell you, I have never seen so many people in one place that thought socks with sandals was an okay fashion design. Because if
God.
you truly think that this uniform here on the right side is a better stylish looking uniform than it is on the left side, I do not trust you to dress yourself every single morning because look, at the end of the day, these uniforms on the right side, Neil, they are iconic, and I love
They
them
are.
because what they represent over the
Yep.
last 20 years. Okay, the
Yep.
playoff wins, the games in the trenches, what the NFL used to be, the Super
Yep.
Bowl. But if we are talking about what uniforms stylistically look better, I don't think that you can argue that these are definitely more superior because they tie in more color. They tie in not just some more red that we would have only seen on the face mask, but it also ties in a little bit more white too. It's a lot better than just having a silver helmet with silver on the shoulder pads and silver everywhere else. So one design that I would say should be a little bit different is I do like the idea of the pants switching back to silver because the silver pants, it gives you a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
more of a color design rather than just kind
Yeah.
of that navy on navy
Yes.
clashing. But not just
Yeah.
that, going down the side of the pants, you also have a little bit more white and you have a little bit more red with the silver pants. So then you would
Yeah.
have the navy blue, you would have the color on the
Yeah.
shoulders, but then you would also have the silver on the helmet clashing really well with the
Yeah.
silver on the pants, but still having color going down the side of the silver pants too. But again, just stylistically talking about, if you're going to try to tell me that these look better than what we have now, no, these are bland. These on the right side, they are bland. Don't be a victim of what they previously have represented for this team. I'm just
You
saying.
take it, PG. I'm with you on this, like 2,000%. So I'm gonna die with you. It's okay, bro. Look, man. People getting triggered by that victim word, man. They're too. And I'll be honest with you. Let me rephrase it. You're just too caught up in the nostalgia. Maybe they'll get offended by that too. It really is. This is when people look back at that uniform, it brings back Brady memories, winning the Super Bowls, beating the great defenses, the running backs, the team that we had on defense. That's what it brings back. Look, man, I've had that jersey. I prefer the red stripes, man. It brings in the Pat Patriot type of uniform color, more life to it, a little part of that to it. And yeah, the silver pants, I could definitely agree to that. But yeah, people are too they're too caught up in the nostalgia of the previous ones. I do like the new ones. And even the color of the blue itself, it pops a little more. The red helps. The silver would be a perfect touch. Get rid of those pants that you have right now. Put the silver on there. That would actually be much better. I agree with you. I don't know why people got so pissy about it,
Bro,
but
I've had
I
people
feel
tell
so
me
much better about this union.
I've had people tell me that and this is how you know. This is how you know that there are some old Patriots fans on Twitter, because they
Yeah.
even tried telling me that
Oh
these
no no
jerseys
no! Those are disgusting, bro. I piss
these
on those. I
jerseys
tell you
are
right
better
now.
than the jerseys we have now.
No, bro, I hated those.
I was told that, bro. I was
Oh
told that.
God, no, PG. I will. Oh my God, they need some sage. Throw some sage at them, man. God damn it! Well, don't let. Oh no! What do you wear for a daily basis if you think this was better?
Yeah, dude. The fact that I got flamed on Twitter, I was like, guys, I know when I have a hot take. This is crazy that people think that our jerseys now are a downgrade from what they were before. I was like, you have got to be
No, that's just
kidding.
insane, bro. That's pretty. I'm with you on this, bro. I don't
But
like the.
let's end today's stream off with a question by Red Sox. So, Red Sox. Oh, this is actually not the one that I meant to bring up. I meant to bring up this one. Red Sox says, "Who are three current free agents I would like to see this team sign?" He says Justin Simmons, Stephon Gilmore, and Connor Williams to a 2-year deal because of injury. Right now, I would have to see who's still available in terms of free agents. Gilmore has been my ride or die. I mean, I've been talking about Gilmore even before the draft, and I will still stand
Yeah.
by that. I understand wanting to get the kids involved. You're trying to develop the younger guys. Gilmore's kind of a placeholder for year one. But if they think that they can be competitive, and I'm not talking about like, hey, you're going to the Super Bowl next year, but if they think that they can be like the last wild card team in the playoffs, and they think they have that potential, and they want to win games solely on defense, then you got to bring in somebody like Stephon Gilmore. I think there are massive, massive questions at cornerback. Gonzo looks like he can be your cornerback one, but he's coming off of season-ending injury. He has played 4 games for you, and then the depth behind him is definitely very, very concerning. It's really all developmental guys, and then kind of older veterans like Jonathan Jones who have some injury concerns. Even Marcus Jones, 5'8", coming off a season-ending injury. He's more of a special teams, player for you on return. So I would say bring in somebody like Stephon Gilmore still, especially because that's somebody that these young guys can still learn behind, especially Christian Gonzalez, who models his game after somebody like Stephon Gilmore. And then honestly, I would like to see them add a running back still, just because I feel like this is a team that offensively, especially early on, is going to want to use the run game
Yep.
significantly more than we've even seen in recent years. I think even under the Alex Van Pelt offense, he loves to run RPOs. He loves to
Yeah.
set up the passing game by having an efficient running game. It starts with the
Yeah.
running game first, and then get yourselves into the passing game and RPOs and getting yourself less predictable. And Ramondre Stevenson, in contract year, coming off a season-ending injury, he's been run through the tires over the last 2 seasons because he was like the only real consistent offensive piece that the team had You have Antonio Gibson, who I also like. He's more of a change of pace back for sure. But again, we as Patriots fans over the last couple of years, we've seen how we've had great running back cores in training camp and in the off season. And then as you enter the season and the season progresses, or even the off season progresses, those running backs go down and they deal with injuries and they're out for periods of time. And right now, behind Ramondre and behind Antonio Gibson, there's nobody that I'm really confident can serve as a role if need be. So I would say maybe even like when training camp comes along, maybe you look at adding another like veteran running back.
Would you get Akers? Cam Akers? I would like to get Cam Akers.
I would bring him in for a workout. So I wouldn't sign him straight up. I would bring him in for a workout and see where his health is, because he showed promise and he doesn't have to be your number one running back, but he's dealt with so many injuries in the past. So I'll bring him in for a workout, see where he is from that standpoint. And then if he's healthy, sure.
I like Gilmore a lot. I definitely agree with you on that. A corner that was solidly fit in as a number 3. Great mentor, leader. Like you said, Gonzo looks up to him. I think he could teach the other corners, especially with Marcel Dial, Austin being there. Those are still young guys. So it'll help out right there. Or you get a guy like Howard. If he's still available, which I believe he is. I'd like to have Howard. That would be dope. I've been dreaming about the day of having that dude. Loving that guy, having our team, especially looking at the Dolphins in their face if we get that dude. They would not like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be against Xavier Howard too. Now, obviously, he has more injury concerns. He's not locked down. He's more ball hawk. But if the Patriots feel like, hey, we don't feel like we have enough players in the secondary to make plays on the ball, and we feel that they're more locked down than they are, the potential of making plays, then maybe you bring somebody like Xavier Howard in. I think Xavier Howard would be good for the development of somebody like Marcel Dial, who's kind of been, considered to be somebody who's more of a ball hawk than he is more of a lockdown, shutdown cornerback. So I wouldn't be against either one of those guys. I would definitely lean more towards Gilmore, just because at the end of the day, the most important thing to do is to prevent your receiver from catching the ball, right? You, of course, want big plays on the ball, but consistently, you just want a guy to not catch the ball. You want to prevent that receiver from making a play, and I definitely trust Gilmore right now than Xavier Howard to do so, but again, he's definitely a guy that I would consider looking into. I'm trying to see who else is currently on the market in terms of running backs.
Simmons, I'm surprised PG Simmons is still on that board. How is he still a free agent? What is the concern? Is it injury? What is his concern? This guy, let's be honest here, he's a good safety. He's pretty much a free safety. I can't see why he's still on the board.
It could be some injury concerns, but it could also just be the fact that he's getting older, right? So he's not going to be in a team's like long-term plans, but not just that, he might also be playing hardball for all we know right now. Right now he could just be saying, you know what? I want a lot more money than what I'm being offered, because he's not being forced to sign right now. At the end of the day, like realistically, he could be waiting to sign with another team until the start of the 2024 season, or until training camp, because guys are ultimately going to get injured. Guys are going to go down. So the need for him might go up to where if he signs right now, maybe for 1 year, he only gets $5 million versus, let's say he signs with the team right before the start of the season and the team's dealing with injuries, and now he's making $7 or $8 million because they're a little bit more desperate. So that's why I could see that happening. Free agents are going to start to be signed a little bit more as the coming weeks start, especially as we start to gear up for training camp. Those guys are going to start coming off the board. With the draft being over, teams still have a couple of holes. Teams are going to start dealing with injuries and practices. That's when that like third batch of free agents start to fly off the board. So definitely start to watch that. Keep in mind, Zeke Elliott wasn't signed until training camp, and Dalvin Cook for that matter.
Yeah, that is true. So we're still going to have a lot more time. I mean, it would be smart to pick up another running back. We've been through this over and over where Stevenson gets hurt and then the other running back has to step up. And then how much can the other guy step up, And then who's the third guy? Harris, I mean, still questioning, right? He's pretty good, but still question to see how much he could carry. But it would be nice to pick up another running back. We'll see how it goes. We'll definitely see how it goes.
Good names. There's a couple of good names that should still be available at the running back position. So like Cam Akers, like you mentioned, I wouldn't mind Kareem Hunt. I just don't think the Patriots, from a personality standpoint, are going to be interested in Kareem Hunt. Jerick McKinnon is apparently still a free agent. He's
That is interesting.
I wouldn't be against bringing him in as like a third running back if he is still on the board. And then somebody like Marlon Mack, that's another guy that's more of like a bulldozer, like run through you type of running back. I wouldn't be against even bringing in somebody like Marlon Mack. There's really not a whole lot of running backs still on the open market, but there are still a couple of names that I definitely would not mind bringing in.
Those are still decent guys to definitely bring in. It's not even like they're going to cost much at this point. And it's not even like they're going to be a one. They're probably a two or a three at best. They're because Gibson's right there and then Stevenson's right there. Do you think we re-sign Stevenson? I think it's a new era where we'll have a closer chance to re-sign this guy. And the way it looks, I think if he does well, I think there's a likely chance we both can meet at a good number where it's beneficial to Stevenson and the Patriots. That thing will work out.
I think we saw that they are willing to bring their own guys back if they produce. I think that he's somebody that maybe during the season, depending on how he plays, they could extend, or they'll just wait until, you know, the end of this 2024 season. So like January, February, right before free agency starts, to try to get that extension done with him if he proves he's capable. He's not somebody that I expect to get an extension done before the start of the season, just because usually running backs don't get second contracts, especially big contracts. So if you are going to get one, you have to be a good enough bell cow running back that deserves that second contract. Rhamondre, like we said, coming off of a season-ending injury, he has been run through the ground by this team over the last 2 years. So he's going to have to prove that he still has enough in the tank to deserve a second contract and that he can still be the bell cow running back, because the Patriots could look to the 4th round of the draft next year and get a much younger running back with no tread on the tires who's going to cost them significantly less. So honestly, I think this is a prove it year for Rhamondre to prove that he does deserve an extension. So I like him, though. I think he's a 3-down running back. He can do it all. And I hope that he's able to bounce back from the injury. But again, with looking at where the running back market is, he's going to have to ball out this season, like be a top 10 running back in the NFL.
Yeah, he has to definitely ball out to justify whatever his contract is going to be worth. What is his contract going to be worth on a per year basis? We're looking at what, 5-8 million or more?
Yeah, dude. I mean, running backs aren't making a whole lot of money, so you're definitely making less than $10 million a year, and that's even if you're a top 10 running back in the NFL.
Yeah, so he has to. You're right. He has to get to top 10, or else it just. I don't think we'll foresee as something he'll cough over. He'll probably make an offer, maybe not the one that he wants, but he needs to be top 10 for sure. I just hope they don't wear him out. I don't think they will with the way Alex Van Pelt system. With Belichick, we freaking just used him so freaking much instead of getting some other second running back to help him out a lot sooner until we got Elliott. And Elliott, as good as he was on his back end years when it comes to running. He was more of a better receiver. You know what I mean? He was still running pretty well, but he was averaging 3.5, which is average per carry. Straight up average. So
exactly, especially with some of the concerns amongst blocking along the offensive line. You know, it's going to be rough for him, so we'll just have to see. But guys, this is going to end it for today's video. Just wanted to hop on here, do a little quick live stream, and break down some of just the latest news surrounding the team. I know that there's really not a lot happening right now, but you know, we got rookie numbers, we got the start of rookie minicamp, and of course, we got a little bit of controversial news with an alternate logo. So hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. Again, I know there wasn't too much to really talk about, but again, rookie minicamp open to the media should be tomorrow. Any news that we get, any videos, anything of the sorts, I'll make sure to break down on the channel. A lot of good content definitely coming your way. Unfortunately, just right now in a little bit more of a dull period. One thing you guys can look forward to this upcoming season, though, we're not only going to be doing post-game breakdowns after every single game, but every single game this upcoming season, we are going to be doing live watch parties for the game. So this is going to be your one-stop shop for everything this upcoming 2024 season for the New England Patriots. But make sure to leave a like on your way out, guys. Really, really helps when you hit that like button on your way out. And Neil, buddy, thank you so much for joining us and being a Patreon member.
Thank you for having me, man. If you could tell the AFC East roundtable, man, I appreciate them all. I love all their takes, man. They're great people, man.
100%, bro. I'll make sure to let them know. Right after this, I'll send them a text message.
Take care, man. Thank you so much, PG, man. Stay
Appreciate
blessed.
you guys. Appreciate you. Go Pats, everyone. Go
Go
Pats.
Pats.